even though week 6 hasn't gone live yet to my channel, you know, I can't remember if I showed in last week's footage a Hubble and Bubble order that I bought. If I didn't, I bought a bath bomb, a soap and a foot scrub because most of the things I wanted were out of stock. And before that had even arrived, I made a second order, which is this one. And because the bath bombs had gone in stock that I wanted to try, so this is the second order that I got. It arrived today and I'm going to show you what I've got inside. So your happy post has arrived. We use as much recycled and recyclable materials as possible. Please recycle where you can. Well, I'll reuse these anyway, and I do recycle. So it's going to be difficult with one hand, but I'm going to show you what I've got. So the first thing I got, and I wish I'd got this with the first order, but when I was looking for soap in the first order, they've got about 20 soaps, well maybe 15. And I spotted the one that I got, Berry Blast, which I'm using currently in my bathroom on my ensuite. I don't use it every time I wash my hands because I've still got my hand soap or liquid soap or hand wash as it's really called that I really like, but probably once a day I will use my soap. But I love this because it's like that, but I love the glitter on the top. It didn't show the glitter on the top on the website, it just showed a picture of it side on, so that was a nice little surprise today. The second item I got, instead of getting a 4th bath bomb because there's 3 bath bombs in here, I got the Pure Bath Melt, no perfume or essential oils. It's tiny. I presume you just run it under the tap and it melts. And it's just like got cocoa butter, shea butter and almond oil. Ooh, that'd be easy to make if you've got a recipe. Might give that a go making them, but yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that. When I get in baths, because I'm in them so long and have them so hot, they do dry my skin out, especially as I shave before I get in them, so my skin is always horrifically dry, so that might actually help. Then I got 3 bath bombs, so I got the strawberry pavlova because I love strawberry scented things, and as you can see it's like purple and pink, well purple and white and pink colour all the way around. I have smelled it and it doesn't smell as nice as I thought it was. Like I've got bath bombs by Lavana Botanicals, and I got a bag of 5 mini ones, and I got a big coconut one which I've still yet to use, and I've just made a little order yesterday for 3 more bath bombs. And her strawberry bath bombs, and I've got one coming, smell much better than this, so I'll compare the two. I won't use any of these until my Lavana Botanicals order comes. So I got that one, I got this one which is cherry bath bomb, and I smelled it and it doesn't smell as cherry as I thought it would, but it might smell better, you know, when I've put it in the water and it's released all the scent. But it smells like a little bit artificially cherry, but not like I expected. But you know, the proof's in the testing, and that's pink with purple bits in. And I think these are £2.50 each, and I think Lavana Botanicals are £3.50 each. Some are £4 because I think I bought 2 at £3.50 and 1 at £4 yesterday. And her postage is a lot more as well, it's £4.40, whereas I believe Hubble and Bubble's £3, which, you know, I was happy just getting a couple of products and paying £3, where with Lavana Botanicals I wouldn't get 2 things and then pay £4.40 postage. That's why I got 3 things, and then I had a 15% discount, then I didn't mind the postage as much. And then the third one is Coconut Dream, and this smells exactly like the Lavana Botanicals one I've got, a fake coconut, which I hate. But yeah, that's my Hubble and Bubble order, and I'm on a ban from buying any more bath bombs because I do have some other bath products coming from another company as well. Sorry, bank balance. Hey everyone. So it's Monday and it's the start of a new vlog filming week. So week 6, part 1's already edited and up. Don't know if I scheduled it. Part 2 I started trying to edit earlier, but I just lost the will. It was a lot longer than I thought it would be because I didn't really film much at weekend, and I thought, oh, I've probably done half an hour. Yeah, you'll see how long part 2 is. I don't know if there's going to be much taken out, I don't know. So I'm glad I didn't film at weekend, but I was way too down to film at weekend. So I'm going to talk about the weekend later on. So it's me, the floating head. I thought I would film for a little bit because I've come to the shop and at first I didn't realise how busy it was, because when I got here, when I'm driving, obviously my phone goes into aeroplane mode because I don't want it to start ringing on Bluetooth, and because it scares the crap out of me, to be honest, or get a message and it ping through Bluetooth. So these days, and for months actually, I have it on driving mode when I'm in the car, because I just think that's the best thing to do. So as soon as I get wherever I go, if I'm not rushing out the car, I take it off driving mode. And when I did, I got about 6 or 7 messages because we've got a new camera up, because obviously, as you will have seen in previous vlogs, someone is stressing the hell out of me by coming every day and banging on my door, and we want to find out who it is, and if it's who I think it potentially is. He's just walked away from his car. God, that flashed a lot of times, didn't it? Yeah, if it's who we think it is, obviously we're going to take legal action. But obviously we need to find out who it is and who's scaring the life out of me. They have intelligence on me, which kind of narrows it down a lot. They know what sort of times I'm going to be in. They made a comment outside my house which alluded to the fact that not only that they've come to see me, but they know that I'm anxious and they know not to continually bang on the door. I'm not repeating what they said, but who needs to know knows what was said. And it's a male. Fact. Also, there was that man that night that walked across the window, but before that we suspected it was a man because it was the man who said what he said earlier in the day. And also it did snow, if you remember, and there was footprints on the path of a man, because it was definitely a man. Well, we know it's a man, so basically the camera sends an alert every time anything comes near, but it's not overly sensitive. It's not picking up the hedge blowing outside, thank God, because if it did, that would have to chop the hedge down. But I'm not going to say what it picks up because I'm not telling anyone what it picks up. But when I was in the kitchen before I came out, the alarm went off and I saw what it picked up, so I know the sort of things it's going to pick up now, thank God, because earlier I didn't know what the hell it was picking up, because you can have a sound on it outside, and my dad, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking when he decided on this sound, but for some reason he had a police siren on it. So I was walking down the stairs and I heard a police siren outside my house, and I had to walk into the other room that has the other camera monitor on, and just to see, and I couldn't see a police car, and I'm like, what's going on? I just heard a police siren outside, and then I walked downstairs and it went off again, and I'm looking for this bloody police car, and it soon clicked it was the camera, because I know the camera, I know where it is. Obviously I know where the camera is, and it was the camera, and I'm like, I text my dad, I'm like, you're going to be driving the neighbours next door up the wall because it's quite a loud siren, it's not loud enough to annoy the whole street, but definitely next door won't be happy about it. It's like, oh, I can turn it off. I'm like, it shouldn't have been on in the first place. Or you should have it on in the night, so if anyone does come up the path in the night, you know, because I know you can set it up to come on at certain times, or to have it on when I'm out, or have it on when I'm in alone at night, or something like that. I said, and we're not having a police siren on it either. It was like a proper, you know, a proper police car siren. I'm like, you can't have that. So, but also when it sends a message to my phone and I got the volume on, the current sound, I don't know if you can change it, it's like that, do you know, well, you won't know because I don't even know, but that siren that they used to let off in the war to let you know there's going to be a raid or whatever, it's one of them. So that's going off. I'm like, bloody hell, what's going on? And there's nothing going on because I know what it's picking up, so it's going to be going off a lot, which is kind of annoying. But also, see, this is the problem, I'm going to want to check it every time it goes off, but it doesn't mean there's someone walking up the path, so it could potentially end up driving me up the wall. We shall see. But it's up and it's working, obviously, so when I did put my phone back onto normal, I just got quite a lot of alerts and pictures. And of course, because there's no one actually coming to my house, no one's in these pictures. But it works, so that's one thing sorted. But I do think it could potentially get a little bit annoying if I'm checking my phone every time it's going off. It could be annoying ultimately, but we'll see. But at least it's up, and at least if that man keeps coming back, because I don't know if he's been back, because I've deliberately been out the house at his most popular viewing time. So if you're watching this and you know, because you've obviously got intel on me, whoever you are, if you change what time you come, or you might not come now because you've watched the videos and you're like, yeah, she's on to us, she's getting a new camera. Well, I got a new camera and it's right in your face. So I'm not having people stress me out like that in my own house. It's making me ill. And if we do find it out, it's certain people, I will be going very public with it, because it's actually bullying, it's harassment, you know, it's going to make me unwell mentally. So, yeah. So I'm at the shop and I'm not in a rush to go in because I've got another alert. There's an alarm message in your device. See, if I checked my phone every time, I'm going to end up sending myself loopy, aren't I? My dad's getting the messages as well. I don't know if he's going to check every time. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I am, but it's good that if you're in the house and you get this alert, you're going to get the alert before they knock on the door. I've got another alert message as well. I'm glad I'm not at home, because this is going to drive me. You probably can't see as much as me now because the camera dropped and it wouldn't go quite back to where it was. So I'm even more of a floating head. So I think for the first week it's probably going to drive me nuts, because you know there's going to be certain times of the day where there's more activity on my street, like people going to work, coming home, where it is going to trip the camera off a lot. So I probably am going to try and come out every single day, just to so it doesn't drive me crazy at like the time people are coming home, that sort of time, like now. Well, it's actually quite late on now actually. So I know I've not really properly started my vlog this week. Oh, I've got another notification. Yeah, I haven't started it properly this week, and I didn't talk about the weekend. I only finished editing part 2 of week, are we on week 6 this last week for you, but for me, I think it is, last night, and uploaded it this morning. I need to schedule both parts because neither is scheduled, and I did want to film a Tuesday video. It is Tuesday. Oh my god, I thought it was Monday. Oh, I filmed it. I need to edit it. What am I thinking of? It's because I have an idea for my next video and I was going to film it today, but today's just been not great because I'm not sleeping and it's driving me mad. It's bad. Like, I'm still awake 6-7 in the morning. I'm not going to allow myself a coffee after 10 o'clock because I think I had a coffee at 12:30 because my dad went to bed and I thought it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I had a coffee and I drank it and I looked at the time, it was 12:30. So I'm not allowed a coffee after 10 o'clock because the coffee's not going to help things, but I don't think the coffee's keeping me up till 7 in the morning. But I want to be in sleep by about 3:30, and that's late to some people, but to me that would be, you know, early enough for me to have a good sleep. But I kept waking up last night and I was too hot and I was sleeping with the window open, so I don't know what's going on with my body, but it's like everyone's like it's cold and I'm there with window wide open all night. Then I was cold when I woke up, so I shut it, fell asleep on and off for about an hour and a half, woke up sweating, so I don't know what's going on. But I wasn't really in a talking mood yesterday. I struggled all weekend after Friday. You would have seen in the vlog I talked about my doctor. Oh, there's a car pulled up next to me and they're going to see, because it's dark, that I'm filming myself if they look this way, which they will do when they're getting out. Because if I have a look across at that car, if they had a camera where I've got a camera, I would see it. So I feel like for some reason today this just wants to keep falling. So Friday really affects, I'm sure it's wonky now as well. Friday really affected. Friday really affected me because not only was she having a go at me, she threw other things at me from ages ago, and she does that because she's had a go before, and it's like she builds everything up. I'm getting really, really sick of my phone falling. Getting like a worse and worse. Getting a worse view every time, but it just keeps dropping and I don't understand why. I filmed like this so many times. See, you can't even see me. I've filmed like this so many times, and today it doesn't want to stay and I don't understand what's going on. But what she did on Friday really affected me. She knows I'm depressed and anxious, yet she had a right go at me, and it's not the first time, and I've always just called it a difference of opinion. But when you go in and you know straight away from the way she is, before you've even sat down, you know it's coming. I shouldn't even know it's coming. I shouldn't have had any experience with it, but she does kick off. And Linda's lied about me, because if you watched week 5, I talk about what happened in the doctors, and I actually played it down because out of respect for my doctor, because she has helped me, I feel like I shouldn't talk about what goes on in the doctor's surgery, so I do hold back. But the staff are so unbelievably rude in there, and the only reason Linda's popular amongst the staff, like she said to me, she's popular, and she's well liked, is because she lets the staff get away with murder, and she blames the patient every single time, and she turns it round on them constantly. She doesn't have a clue. She really doesn't have a clue. You can't be the staff's friend. My doctor was out of order. I've spoken to people about what went on because, you know, I contacted someone and I was trying to I don't want to say, but talk to them sooner than I'd planned on talking to them. And I was like, I changed my mind like early hours on Monday morning, and I said it's okay, I'll speak to such and such, like, and then obviously they wanted to know what had gone on, and I said like, my doctor said that I came in demanding to see her, and they basically said, you're not demanding, like, you're the least demanding person I've ever met. You don't demand, you ask, and sometimes you don't even ask because you don't want to put someone out. And I said, well, it takes me a lot to go in and ask to begin with. I don't make the decision lightly. There's been times when I've gone and not even gone in because I don't want to take up her time like that. And someone else who I told straight away were like, I can't imagine you'd go in and be demanding, you're not demanding. So for her to say I went in demanding and I wouldn't leave, I tried to leave. Linda told me to sit down and she said she was going to go speak to her again. So, you know, and I said I even apologised to Linda because I said in that video on here, week 5, was it part 2? Probably was part 2. I apologised even though I didn't feel like I should apologise because I knew the doctor would probably ask her what had gone on, or she'd go and tell the doctor when the doctor finished surgery what went on. The doctor had clearly put it in my notes because she had some on screen and she doesn't normally have on screen, and she did, and she had it on screen and she just went at me. And because it's my doctor and I respect her, I won't stand up for myself as much as if she had a go at me away from the surgery. Does that make sense? It might not make sense to some people, but because I do respect her, I wouldn't stand up for myself to this extent I would if it was away from there. If she had a go at me away from there in a non-doctor patient situation, then yeah, I would really stand up for myself, and I did. And she won't back down. She never backs down because she's always right, and no matter what you say to her, she's right. She's not going to back down. She's angry, it doesn't matter what you say to her, she's made her mind up. She had very little information, which was clearly obvious by the things she was saying about what had happened. She was just saying stuff just to say it. And, you know, I had gone to see her about certain things. I'd not seen her for 3 weeks. And I'm ill all the time. So she got in this bad mood. Oh, God, I got another alert on my phone. And she decided before I was gone in, she was going to have a go, which I think's out of order because I've gone there very unwell. She's been struggling for weeks and weeks. Like, I'm so depressed. I don't want to really live anymore. And you would have seen a video, not the Sunday just gone as you're watching this, but the Sunday before. And that wasn't as dark as I went that night. I went to a much darker place. And I only put it up when I felt I was out of the dark place. Because if I was still in that dark place, I couldn't have even watched the footage. And even watching the footage was hard for me. And I even held back in the footage. I remember thinking, well, at first I didn't think I would ever put it on YouTube because I thought, I'm not putting that on YouTube. Even when I was filming it, I was just filming it just so I could look back on it and potentially I could show my doctor. Not all of it. I mean, I'm not there for that long. And yeah, that was kind of it really. But I thought I'll put some of it on so people can understand that, yeah, you see me on here and I'm kind of okay and I don't talk about things, but I deliberately don't talk about things. It doesn't help me. It sometimes makes me feel worse because it makes me go over it, and then when I'm watching back and editing it, I'm going over it again. Also, you know, it doesn't help other people a lot, and also there's people watching this who potentially may try and use it against me, which I think's wrong. But it was important for me to get that video up. So I was feeling lower than I did in that video, and she goes at me, and she made me feel lower than I've ever felt in months and months and months. So literally, you would have saw like Friday I come home and it was super late, it was after 9, and it took me forever to put the first load of shopping out, and then filmed it, and then it took me ages to put it away. Then I just sat on the bottom of the stairs for ages before putting the second lot out. Then it took me ages to put that away, and then it was like 11:30 before I had something to eat, and then I didn't really eat it. And then the next day I was in my bedroom till I think it was about 7 o'clock, and I got up because I've got a dog obviously and she needs to go out. So on Sunday I didn't go downstairs till about 5:30. If it was up to me I probably would have stayed in my room all day, but my dad's at home. He might have thought I died or something, so I went downstairs, but I wasn't happy. I was in a really dark place, and yesterday, even though I was a little bit better and I made myself leave the house, as you saw I didn't film because it still affected me even till today. And I keep thinking to myself, I need to get out of how I'm feeling. But when the person who knows you the best just goes crazy at you and throws all this stuff at you, you know, I've never demanded to see her, not once. And it takes me all I have to go in and ask that, and she weren't listening when I was trying to explain things. And my dad was like, I'm going to go and have a word with her. I'm like, don't go and have a word. I'm going to speak for myself. And when I see her next, I'm going to explain how she made me feel and how she's got it wrong. And, you know, she shouldn't defend her staff. Like, someone said to me she should look at a CCTV because she'll see how I was acting and she'll see how Linda was acting, but she doesn't want me to prove I'm right about Linda. But Linda isn't a very nice person. Linda attacked me. I was very calm, and she was calling me a liar before I'd even really spoken to her, and she wouldn't let me explain what I was trying to say. She was just shooting me down, and I've heard what she's like, and the doctor's like, oh, she's very popular amongst staff. Well, yeah, because she lets them get away with murder. Like when Neelam gave me that patient's personal information and she kept her job, and Linda sent me this insulting letter, which, you know, I might take legal action on if Linda wants to carry on lying. Basically having a go at me, saying if you've looked at it you need to tell me, like making me out to be the bad one rather than Neelam. Neelam gets away with so much. I've complained about Neelam so many times, and the doctor's like, not many people have complained, but no one has the balls to complain. And a lot of people put up with stuff because they don't want to rock the boat, and also because they're scared they'll get singled out and people will be like, this person complains all the time, and then, you know, gets treated like crap by other staff. That's why people won't complain. And also when you do try to complain, Linda shoots you down, makes you feel like you're the worst person on the planet, and she defends the staff. Linda doesn't have any managerial skills. She was the receptionist there, and then they changed her into the practice manager, but she's shit at it. It's so poorly run, that doctor's surgery. The staff there, because I always say to my doctor, you don't see what goes on, you can't defend them, and she said, I can defend Linda, she's very popular. Well, excuse me, but I'm very popular when people get to know me, and I've never once demanded. So she's has made me feel like crap for days, and I'm still upset about it. And the problem with me going in and confronting her about it, and I don't mean like a big confrontation, I'm just going to say, I want you to listen to this, I don't want you to shut me down or have a go at me, I need to say some things. I've got another bloody alert on my phone. I'm so glad I'm not at home. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm just going to say I need to say a few things because, you know, you've upset me, and this was what happened because you upset me, and I'm going to tell her how it's affected me because she needs to know. She shouldn't be having a go at a patient. She had planned it. She came out for me 20 minutes late. She didn't have a patient in it with her. She was standing her ground and she wasn't very nice to me. And even afterwards, when she calmed down a little bit, she still didn't want to know. She had a go at me about numerous things that doctors really shouldn't have a go at you about. And she made me feel like crap. And in the past, I've come on here and made out that we've had a difference of opinion. And there's footage I've edited out where I've talked about what she said to me, and I've left it out because I respect her. But, you know, she's the one who tells me to stand up for myself. But I can't stand up for myself to the extent I would have done, because she could say, I don't want to be your doctor anymore. But I should be able to stand up for myself and not have her go, I don't want to be your doctor because you've stood up for yourself. Like I have in other videos, if you've watched my videos for a long time, I describe her as feisty. That's exactly what I meant by feisty. You won't think of it to look at her, but, you know, she's feisty, and that's what I meant. When I described her as feisty, that is what I meant, because she does that. And she's done it on the phone to me, and she's been heard doing it on the phone to me, because she's rung me up, and like the last time she had a go at me was in November. She went absolutely nuts at me down the phone, and she gave me a decision, and I felt it was an impossible decision, and I feel like ultimately I made the wrong choice now, because if she's like, I'm going to say to her when I see her next, if you're going to have a go at me again, I will have to get another doctor, because there's ways to speak to people, and you're speaking to someone highly depressed and upsetting them. And then, you know, what as if I've went and done something? She would have covered herself. She would have put something in her notes like we had a disagreement and Melanie wasn't happy. She always covers herself. She types things in her notes because she covers herself. But she is hot-headed, and I think as a doctor, it's wrong. Like my dad has been describing her as unprofessional lately. And this is what he means by unprofessional, because she's done things like this in the past, and he deems it to be unprofessional. And I told her, like, because I tell her a lot of things, I said, like, my dad's saying you're unprofessional. And it just kind of goes over her head a little bit, because a lot of it does, to be honest. But sometimes she's nice to me and sometimes she's like this, and, you know, I shouldn't have to sit in the waiting room thinking which doctor she's going to be. You know, like Jekyll and Hyde. I shouldn't think who's she going to be today. But normally if she's had a go at me, the next time that I go in, I'm scared to death to go in. I think the last time she had a go at me, I wasn't scared to go in. I actually went in and asked to see when she didn't have an appointment, because she'd had a go at me. She got me to ring her the next day, and she was super nice to me on the phone. It was like, what's going on here? I felt like I was gone into a Twilight Zone or something. And then I went in the week after because I needed to see her, and she saw me without an appointment and she was fine. But I think the time before that she'd had a go at me, and she actually caused something, which I've never told anyone what she caused, but she upset me so much she actually did something. And I didn't go back for a month because she like barked at me, don't come back for a month. And I thought she literally meant don't come in even if you're sick. So I was in such a dark place, I went away and did something, and was really, really in this really dark, scary place for a month. And I was sick a couple of times, and then I went back in and I told her, like, you know, you said don't come for a month, and she went, no, I meant unless you're sick, I don't need to see you for a month. And, you know, but if someone says don't come and see me for a month, you won't think, oh, she means unless I'm sick. You would think she means don't come and see me for a month no matter what. So, oh God, the person in the car next to me has come back and I'm talking to myself. But yeah, and then when I went in that time, like after I'd not been for a month, and I knew I had this appointment, like I struggled, like all weekend leading up to it. I was like this big nervous wreck, thinking, oh my God, I've got to go and see her. I don't want to see her, like I'm scared. And I remember I sat down and my heart was racing, like when I sat down in her office. I was like, I don't know what to do with myself. And I know she's like, how have you been? And I told her what I'd done. And I told her, like, when you upset me, I said I was going to do this thing. Because I actually told her what I was going to do during this time she was having a go at me, and I was sat there crying. And she stopped for a second when I said it and looked at me, and then just carried on having a go at me. And I thought, fine, I'm going to go and do it. And I did. And I did it again and again and again. Did it a few times. And I was in such a dark place and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I spoke to someone and they're like, you need to... Because I told one person what I did. And she's like, you need to go and see your doctor. You need to make an appointment to see your doctor. And I'm like, I'm too scared to go and see her. I don't know, I'm scared to make an appointment. She's like, why don't you ring up and leave a message and ask her to phone you? I'm like, I don't want her to phone me. I'm scared she'll have a go at me, because she said, don't come and see me for a month. And this person basically said, like, I'm pretty sure she would want to see you under these circumstances if she knew, what has gone on, what the fallout was, and you actually did what you said you was going to do. And I was like, I got another alert on my phone. I was like, I don't know. And she's like, well, why don't you write a quick note, drop it off for her, and do it that way? And I wrote a note, and I ripped it up, and I wrote another one, and I was just like, no, I just couldn't do it. And I waited a month. And I told her, like I said, I told you at the time I was going to do it, and she never, like, apologised or said, oh, I should have tried to stop you, or I should have spoken to you about it. She just didn't. And she was nice to me, but you can't have a go at your patient who's depressed and, like, listens to your advice, or, like, listens to everything you say and takes it on board, and not expect them to go off and not do something stupid, because I do, and she knows I do. I remember I got another alert. Stop going near my house. There was one time, I think it was the first time, oh god, yeah, part next to me, that's right. She had a go at me. Can't remember what it was about now, because I remember that in a vlog I said I'm going to see someone who's upset me this week, and I'm going to go and tell them what they've done. I remember putting that in the vlog, and I went to see her at an evening appointment at somewhere she works. I don't think she works there anymore, I'm not sure, but she used to work somewhere one evening a week. And I made an appointment to see her there. I wasn't well anyway, so I managed to get an appointment there. And went to this appointment. I'm like, before I tell you what's wrong, I need to tell you what you did the other day. And I told her how she'd upset me and how I almost stormed out of her office. And when I said, like, I almost walked out, she looked at me in utter shock. And she was like, she couldn't believe I was going to walk out when she was having a go at me. And I'm like, I almost did. I said, I thought, no, I'll just stay and hear it out. I said, but I was so close to getting up and walking out. And she was actually shocked that I was going to walk out because she was having a go at me. I'm like, but do you know what I mean? There's ways to talk to your patients and there's ways not to. Like, she should say to me, like, oh, that day you came in a couple of weeks ago and you asked to see me, what happened? And then I would have explained, and then if she would have had a different side of the story, she would have said, well, it's not been worded quite like that, but you're two different people, two different of opinions, I won't side. But she did. She sided with that evil bitch Linda. I'll prove how nasty Linda is one day. So that's how she should have handled it, and that's how I've been told she should have handled it. And also she should have got them to download the CCTV for it. Instead of saying I'm there shouting and, like, getting angry and upsetting reception, she should have just said, it calmly. So there are ways to speak to people. And then, like I said, I went to that appointment in March or April, and I'm like, you upset me. I wouldn't have, I would have walked out. It's like, well, sometimes you need to hear these things, but you don't need to hear these things. You don't need them shouting at you. You don't need your doctor of all people to make you feel like you don't want to live anymore. So I will tell her how she's made me feel, and I will keep the majority of this footage in. Obviously, if I've like repeated myself or I've said things different, I might, that's me with my keyring. If you keep seeing something move across my face, I can't do it now. Can you see that? That's me. So if you kept seeing something like that, it's me with my keyring. Yeah, if I've said things twice in 2 different ways, I'll just keep one of it in. But yeah, as you see, I've been talking about it for half an hour. That's how much it's affected me. Yeah, that's kind of the fallout of it and how it's made me feel. I keep saying to myself like I need to like pick myself up from it, but do you know when you respect someone and you kind of look up to them a little bit? Because I do look up to her a little bit, like not like I want to be like her, I don't want to be a doctor or anything like that, but I do like her, and it took me a long time to get used to her, and it took me a long time to feel comfortable around her. And I'm going to explain this to her because I don't think she gets it, and I don't think she gets why she can upset me this much. But I think if she had to go at anyone, you know, it would get to them to some extent, maybe not to this extent, but it would get to them. So I'm going to explain it to her. I'm going to say, look, you really need to listen to this. And then I'll say to her, like, if you just want to be angry with me all the time, or you want to accuse me of things without the full facts, or you think you're going to go off on one at me all the time, or you don't want me as your patient, you need to tell me now, because if this is you saying I don't want to be your doctor anymore and you want me to leave, then tell me, because I can't keep doing this. I mean, I once said to her, if you don't want to be my doctor, just tell me. She said, oh no, I want to be your doctor, but she can't go off on one like this at me anymore. This is the last time. I can't keep putting up with this. It's not fair on me. I don't need it. I even said that to her because I like burst into tears. I'm like, I can't cope with this. I've got too much going on. And she's like at me. And this is why my dad's calling her unprofessional. He's been calling her unprofessional for months because he knows she's done it before, and he's heard her on the phone doing it. I mean, she did it once to me on the phone, and then she rung me a couple of days later. It was really weird because I've not rung in. I hadn't done anything. And she rung me out of the blue, and I'm there, and I answered the phone, and she started talking to me, and I'm thinking, who the hell is it? Because the doctor's surgery name came up, because sometimes she'll ring on a mobile and we've held the number, or sometimes she rings from the surgery phone. So she rung and she's talking away, and I'm thinking, who is it? Because my doctor puts on a telephone voice, but also she puts on a fake posh voice in person as well. Because she's Scottish. When I first saw her, like 10 years ago or whatever it was, she had a much stronger accent, and I couldn't understand a lot of what she was saying. And her accent's changed so dramatically, I think it is put on to some extent. But when she rings, it's even posher, and you're there thinking, who the hell is it? Because this time she rung up and I had not rung in or anything. She's talking away, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, it's Doctor, and said her name. See, you can tell I respect my doctor because I won't name her. If I didn't respect her, I'd be like, Dr. Jones or whatever. She's not called Dr. Jones. And I'd say stuff about her, but I haven't. So, she rung me up like 2 days later. And then, because she accused me of something again. She accused me of not ringing in when I'd rung in. And when she rung back, I was like, you know, it really upset me. And I've got the call log, I can show you. She's like, oh, we've forgotten about that. But 2 days earlier, she's on the phone having a go at me, and I'm thinking. So instead of saying, oh, yeah, if you can prove it, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Oh, no, we've forgotten about that. And I'm like. So she rung me up, had a go at me, and then 2 days later, she's ringing me up, oh, how are you? And I'm like, I hadn't rung in or anything. I was really confused that day. I was just there like, why is my doctor ringing me? She's talking away, and I'm thinking, she got some bad news for me. Do you know, like, because you don't, unless you ask for your doctor to ring you, your doctor doesn't generally ring you. So you're like, so I'm there thinking, why is she ringing me? She asked me how I was, and because she'd had a go at me 2 days earlier, I was in a really dark place, and I told her, and I could hear her typing away. So she was obviously putting it on her computer. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm trying to like get back into not feeling as down, even though I've been down for a while, but she's really knocked me down. And then I've got someone else who's interfering in my life, who I'm thinking of potentially taking out of my life because they're causing me more stress than anything, and I don't need the stress. I've not been able to work on my DIY project because I've been down, and I worked well last week. I'm scared I'm going to be ill this week and not finish it, and I want to finish it, and that's annoying. I want to still get Tuesday's video up, but it's probably going to take me about half an hour to edit. Then I've got to upload it, so it could go up at 10 o'clock at night, but I'm determined to get it up because I want to put it up. If I get it up next week, you know, because it's an unboxing, what I've bought could go out of stock and someone might watch it and want to buy it, so I want to get it up today. I did want to film Sunday's video because I have an idea for Sunday, but it's not going to get done today because I need lighting for it. I don't want to say what it is in case I don't do it and this video goes up and I've not done it, or I'm not going to do it. I wrote myself a to-do list last night, but I was up half the night, well, till about 7, 8 in the morning. Woke up because we had someone at the house, a joiner, joining things. And then I fell back asleep for an hour and a half, and then I woke up feeling good. Why is this suddenly dropping? Like, I'm not moving, I've not done anything, yet it's dropping. So yeah, I've not really done anything. I've just got ready and come out, and I've been sat here an hour and I've been filming for 45 minutes, so you're probably not going to get the full film. See, you can't even see me now, but it keeps dropping down, and now I'm like having to, oh god, I don't want to lean too far forward, but for some reason it keeps just dropping when I'm talking. So yeah, I've been like, see, I've well made up for not filming yesterday. I mean, I don't plan on filming when I get home, but I might get home and I might want to talk again. I don't know. This is a problem. When someone really affects me, I tend to not talk, and then I'll start talking a few days later. So the plan is to edit today's video and get it up today, even if it goes up at 10 o'clock. It doesn't matter. Got another alert. Stop coming near my house. God. One of these times I'll be like, oh, I'm not looking at it, and then it'll be someone at the door. I'm hungry. All I've had is a yogurt. I'm struggling to eat. I've struggled to eat since my dad's had a go at me. I've barely had anything. Made a Sunday dinner. Don't know if it was in last week's vlog. I think it was. I ate about 2 mouthfuls of chicken, 3 mouthfuls of vegetables. I got another alert, and that was it. That's all I had. Yesterday I had a yogurt. I had some of the evening meal, which I should have shown, and some Maltesers. I might get some Maltesers, and that was it. So I don't think I had anything else to say. Oh, I had one of those mini serene loaves, you know, single portion ones. I had one of them, and I don't think I had anything else. And I'm hungry, but when I'm eating, like, I'll have a couple of mouthfuls and I feel like I've had a 10-course meal. And I tried to tell my doctor this the other day. She said it's my anxiety. I'm like, my anxiety's never affected my eating. I eat when I'm anxious because it helps. Like when I'm depressed, I stuff my face full of sugar. So it's not my anxiety, but I think she was just so angry, she just didn't want to know. But when you've got a double appointment, you sat there for half an hour and it's painful. cold in this car as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna sort my video out. Probably put some washing in the washer because I want to put a wash load on tomorrow, so I want to see what I've got. I want to do a couple of little things that I don't talk about my whole life on here and what I get up to. There are things I do away from YouTube and stuff. I don't talk about. I don't put my whole life on here. I don't need to. I have no want or desire or whatever to put. Why do people like parking next to me? But at least she drove through. Yeah, so don't think I'm just sat at home doing nothing. Well, I do nothing a lot, but you know, I got a wax melt order today, and it was a pre-order one from someone I've never bought from before. I wish it'd stop sending me notifications. You annoy me. It was a limited edition Valentine's treat box from, I can't remember who, and it came today and it was so well wrapped. It's literally wrapped in this heart paper stuff in a box. And I thought I'm just going to open it on Valentine's Day, so it won't be in this vlog, it'll be in the next vlog because Valentine's Day is next week. I think it's on Thursday, so I'm going to open it on camera on Thursday. So I put myself on a wax melt ban for this whole month, and I'm struggling to stick with it. And it's like only like the 5th or 6th, 5th, and I'm struggling not to buy any. But I've got so many, and I don't like to waste them. Like people, like, oh, they'll be like, oh, I want to get onto my next one, and they'll just burn one for 6 hours. But a lot of the good ones, stop sending me alerts. A lot of the good ones will burn for a good 21 to 25 hours. If I really want to see if it will do a good 25-hour burn, I will do the 25 hours. Obviously not in one go, over quite a few days, but I generally will do 21 hours, which is around 7 of the tea lights that I use, because I tend to buy the 3-hour ones. So I will do between 5 and 7 tea lights. If it starts to fade before then, obviously I'll stop using it. But I used one the other day, and I think I did either 18 or 21 hours. I think I did the 21 hours and it smelled really good. And I started another candle to do more, but basically a lot of the scent dropped on that candle. So I only did about half an hour, and then I changed it to what I've got in now, which is a new brand. Actually, it's really nice. I was melting some of it on camera last night on Instagram, so I'll insert some clips now if I've kept them. So I do have a lot, and I don't want to have too many. Well, there's no such thing as too many, but I don't want to end up with these extreme amount of wax melts, and I have a lot. And you know, there's ones I've tried and there's ones I've not tried, and I want to try the ones that I haven't tried. Like I bought a box from a brand called Moors and Merrin, and I think there's 12 or 14 different scents, and that second one that I was trying was the one that I changed over last night when I went. It did about 21.5 hours, and that was really nice. I think that was pear and vanilla, and I liked that one, but there's still more in that box to try. So And then I've got this new one for Valentine's Day with 6 different scents in. And last week, I don't know if it was in a vlog or not, I got a monthly subscription box by Charismatic Cat, and I've only tried one of theirs, and it's not very strong smelling. I could barely smell it, and I've only done maybe a 4-hour burn on it, so that was a little bit disappointing. Yeah, and then I've got a box that I bought on the 1st, even though I'd started my ban. I said to the seller I would buy it because she put this thing up going, oh, about this box. I went, oh, I wouldn't mind that. So she sent me a link for it, so I felt like I should buy it, even though it's a designer perfume dupe and it's got some perfumes in that I've never tried before, and that's why I like the sound of it. But upon reading it, I was just like, I don't really want all these perfume dupes, because I've got some and they're not always my favourite, because perfume's subject to what you like and stuff. And it's like, I've got some Lady Million ones and I've burnt one of them because I'm not keen on it. And I got the Lady Millions because everyone was going nuts over the Lady Millions by Ava May, so I bought some and I'm like, oh god, these are horrible. And I got a Creed sample by one of my favourite wax sellers, Queen of Tarts, and I kind of liked it, but it's one of those scents that you're either gonna love or hate, and I thought I couldn't have that all the time. And I think there's some Creed in this box that I've bought, and there was only one in it that I really wanted to try, so that's coming. So that's got 6 different scents in. I think there's 2 of each scent. Then there's the one that I said that I got today. Then I made an order last Thursday, and it was mainly bath stuff. There was like a bath melt, a massage bar, a lip balm, and I bought one of the mini wax melts in Pink Sands, which is a Yankee Candle one, and I wanted to try that, so it's only a little one, so that's another one that I bought. I've got lots of Queen of Tart ones. I think there's only one of those that I've not tried that I've got, and it's the Vapor Rub one. I think I've tried all the other ones that I've got by them, but they're probably ultimately my favourite brand. I've got loads of Dallas Candle ones, not as many because I tend to just fly through them, and that's the box that I've got to come yet. She's really nice, the woman that sells them, but I thought because I said I wanted it, or it sounded good, or whatever I said to her, I felt like I should buy it. So I've got lots by her. I do have an Ava May. I bought it when she was having to like restock at certain times, like back in October, and no one was getting anything, and I panic bought Bon Bon because I knew that was the only perfume that I knew I liked, and Lady Million, luckily for me, had sold out, so I still not trying my Ava May. I've got my Daisy Blue, which I loved, but it didn't last very long. It lasted either 12 or 15 hours, which shocked me because I thought it would be a good 21-hour burner. So I've still got 5 left in that clam pack. I've got Lavana Botanicals. Oh my god, the pine one she does. I had one last week on the go because I've not had one on the go since like Christmas. That's when I first opened them. But I've got Pine Buyer and Dark Pomegranate. I've still got lots of them left because, like a lot of people, like I said, they change them continuously, so they're flying through them. But I make sure, if they will last 24 hours before the scent fades, then I'll make sure that I use them for that long. There's some that don't last that long, and I don't repeat purchase by that company because obviously I want them to last as long as possible. And then I've got loads from the new company, like loads of different scents. And I do have 2 wax burners. One's electric, which has got one of the Charismatic Cat ones in, which isn't that strong at all. And then I've got my tea light one, which is my favourite because I like tea light because it's like ambience and light. I've been sat here well over an hour, you know. And I want one for my bedroom, and I want one from the office area, so no matter where I am in the house I can have one burning. Because I did want to try and go upstairs earlier, even if I don't go to sleep, and maybe read or something, and I thought it'd be nice to have a relaxing wax melt on. I wouldn't have a perfume one on. But yeah, if I did have more wax burners I would go through wax a bit more, because like if I'm getting ready or having a shower and washing my hair and stuff, I can have one burning whilst I'm drying my hair and doing my makeup and stuff, and I can have one burning at night time, that sort of thing. So I think the next thing I need to do is get one for my bedroom. I did think about getting a small one because it's my bedroom and because of space, but I'm at a shop where I bought my downstairs one from, and I'm thinking if they've got one in now that I've remembered, I'm going to pick one up and then I can get them burning. So I'm a wax melt ban for February and I've still got 23 days to go, and I'm going to find it hard, I'll be honest. And then I've put myself on a bath bomb ban, because not only do I already own a full-size one by Lavana Botanicals, I've got 2 mini Lava Botanical ones. I've also got some bath bomb dust to use in a bath by Lavana Botanicals that I got for free. And then I've just ordered 3 more Lavana Botanical bath bombs. On top of that, I made an order, well, I've had 2 orders from Hubble and Bubble. The first order had a bath bomb, a foot scrub and a soap. I used the bath bomb last Friday. I wasn't overly impressed, I'll be honest. It looked good, it fizzed, it did everything. The scent wasn't strong enough, and it didn't make my skin feel amazing. But before I tried it, I'd made another bath bomb order. So yesterday, I would have shown it in this video hopefully, I got 3 bath bombs. I got cherry bath bomb, it's a really artificial cherry scent, and I got coconut breeze or something, really artificial coconut, which I don't like, but the Lavana Botanical smells very artificial as well. And I got strawberry pavlova, which doesn't smell amazing. I also got a bath melt, which I'm hoping is good, and a unicorn soap, for not realising it smelled of coconut, and I wouldn't have bought it because the coconut scent is never quite spot on. So, but you live and learn. And then also I've got an order coming from Shimmer and Lux, which has got a lip balm in, I think a bath melt, a massage melt, so you can just put it on your skin. It's got oils in, this is what I presume it is, and it moisturises your skin. And I bought a wax melt from them. So I'm on a bath product ban basically, because I don't need any. I only have 1 bath a week, yet I've got 3 bath bombs, 4, 2 mini, 3 more coming, so that's 7, 8, 9. I've got 2 bath melts, 10, 11, that's 11 baths, that's 11 weeks. I mean, there might be the odd week here and there where I might have 2 baths, where I get a chance to have 2 baths, but I have to have my baths during the day. If my dad's at home, I can't have a bath. So, you know, potentially this stuff could last me 11 weeks. As much as I want to buy more bath bombs, I can't afford to keep doing this anyway. But there were certain bath bombs I wanted, like she does one called Mermaid's Tail that I wanted. She does a strawberry one, which I've had the mini of, and I wanted the big one of. And I can't remember what the other one was, but the one that I wanted the most had sold out straight away. So, bath bomb and wax melt ban. Wax melt for obvious reason and bath bomb for obvious reason. And like, I've literally almost filmed enough footage for 1 part of my vlog. So I'm going to go and see if I can get... There's people like coming and going, and I'm just like, here, I'm going to get charged parking. I'll see you guys soon. I've got new eyeshadow palette on. Did I show it yesterday? Helen from next door, who I've always been talking about, came out and hid behind her husband. Yeah, I'm not putting up with it anymore. I've been talking about her for months and her ignorant looks, and how she stands there and gives you these dirty looks, and it's all caught on camera. Hello. You know what? I'm getting absolutely sick of the attitude from Helen from next door. This has been going on for the 3 years that I've lived here. She's constantly giving like really dirty looks. Like, you'll come home or you walk out the house and you look round to like maybe like shut the door or lock the door or something, and you'll see her and she'll be just stood there and she just gives you the dirtiest look. Like, do you know the sort of look you'd give someone if, like, I don't know, because I don't go around giving those looks, but do you know if you're really unhappy with someone and like they approached you and you didn't really want to talk to them and you'd just be like, she gives you that look. And there's times, like I've mentioned her on this channel quite a few times, like, because it's just like, when you don't know someone, like she doesn't know me, and she's just giving these looks, it's like, why? Like, why would you just give someone looks for absolutely no reason? And for the last, I don't know how long, she makes comments and remarks, like, I think it was, what day did I go out last week? It might have been last Thursday, and I hadn't left the house for a couple of days because I'm not well and like my anxiety and stuff. And it was when it snowed, but because I hadn't been out for a few days, my car was absolutely coated in snow and ice. And I was like walking around scraping it, and she come outside and she was stood there smoking like she always does, because every time I walk out all I can smell is like fag ash, and that's how I know she's there half the time. Like, before I see her, before I turn around to lock the door, before I see her and I open the door, it's just, I can smell cigarettes. So I was like walking around my car scraping it, and I don't even mind scraping my car. I find it fun because I've got my new scraper. It was fun. And she was laughing, and I looked at her because I thought maybe she's on the phone, and because always when she stood at the door, she's on the phone 8 times out of 10. So I'm like, oh, she's probably on the phone, she's not laughing at me. And I looked, and she was like looking at me, didn't have a phone around, and was just laughing. So I carried on. She's like, I don't need to scrape my car. And I'm like, carried on like walking around just like scraping. I didn't say anything to her, and she went, loser, and got in a car. And I'm like, I don't even mind scraping my car, it's actually fun. The only time I would mind, say like I had to be somewhere that's a 10-minute drive, and I had like 5 minutes to sort my car out and it weren't getting done, or it was going to take more than 5 minutes, that's when it would probably annoy me a little bit, but I weren't bothered. I remember when I was working last year, and it snowed like early last year, and there were days where I would go out and scrape the ice off after my shower before I'd like done my hair and makeup for the day. And I'd go out and he'd be out there, and the reason her car's always scraped, because she said she didn't have to do it, is because he does hers before he goes to work. So she's got him well trained, hasn't she, because he's like scraping a car. So she thinks I'm pathetic for scraping my own car, but surely she should be independent enough to do her own car, but no. So I hear him in the morning, like last week, you know, when it was snowing and stuff, he would scrape both cars because my bedroom's at the front of the house, and I'd hear him doing it. Or sometimes I would like look out, see what's going on, and he's there scraping a car for her. But she's always like backhanded comments to me. I'm sure once she called me a bitch, but I just, do you know when you think she's like, someone's not said it and you're like, did she say that? But even my dad's like, she gives him looks, and he's like, what's the problem? I think it's to do with the fact that we won't sign for parcels for them, because we used to get quite a few knocks on the door for parcels, and she'd signed for a couple for us like ages ago. But like, he said that when he's gone to get the parcel off her, she doesn't even, like, when she answers the door, she doesn't speak to him, she practically just throws the parcel at him. So do you know what I mean? I just don't understand where her attitudes come from. But my main problem, other than her mouthing off a few times and constant dirty looks, is the fact that I'll come home and they'll have a visitor and they've parked in a way where I can't get my car on camera. And I've actually asked some of her guests before now, and I've said, could you please move it further up just so I can get my car on camera because I don't feel safe. And some of them have literally done what I've asked them to, because I've asked them politely and I've explained, I'm like, look, I can't park away from the house. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I've tried it a few times. I've tried parking other places. I didn't have this conversation with them, but I just need to end of the path, walk down the path, and I feel safe. But there's this one red car, I think it's a Golf, and it's always outside, so I think she looks after the baby because Helen, as she's called, has gone back to work by the looks of it. But it's just like, there's times when there's nothing on the drive and she's parked in where I park, and I'm thinking, there's nothing on the drive, why would you block someone else? And like, they know I live here, I've lived here for 3 years and they know where I park my car. And I know you can park anywhere you want on any street, you don't own it unless it's like resident parking. But there's like always an unwritten rule that, you know, if a certain person parks somewhere and they've parked there for years, if you can park somewhere else, you typically don't park in that person's space. I wouldn't park someone else's space. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like 33 used to have a visitor and he used to always park almost opposite my car because he noticed I had a camera and he was trying to get his car on camera. But a lot of the time he was parking and people were struggling to get through. If that were me, you know, if there's no room down there, I wouldn't be like, oh, I need to get under camera, but I'll park side by side so people struggle to get through. I'd pull either further forward or further backwards, do you know what I mean? But her in that red Golf that she's parked literally right outside her house so many times, when there's either been a space on the driveway, there's space in between their driveway and where I park, or there's a space across opposite where they could park, or there's space opposite my car, there's a space after my car on the other side, there's down on the main road part. So, you know, there's no need for it. And she knows next door that I need to park at my end of the drive, because when I spoke to one of them that came out of a house one day, she said, and she was with her husband, I think it was her husband, she was with her mum, she said, I'll explain it to Helen when I go in next. That's how I found out her name. And she said she'll probably tell people if they're coming around not to park there just so it's easier. And I said, I don't want to be a pain, but it's just, I don't feel comfortable if I can't park at the end of my path because I know I'm in full view of the camera then, and it makes me feel a little bit safer. Anyway, when I got home, I couldn't park where I'd normally park, and the front door was open, so I thought, oh, they're going to go in a minute. So I just beat my horn, and she come out, and I'm like, can you... Oh, she come out and started screaming, the woman who owned the car. She's like, I've only just parked there. I'm not going to be long. And I'm like, can you move? I really need to park outside my house. I've only just come in. I'm thinking, if you've only just come here, why didn't you just park across the driveway? Because if you just go in, you know, it shouldn't make a difference. And I was like, you know, you keep parking here, and you know I need to park here. She's like, you've got a driveway. And I'm like, the driveway holds one car. My dad parks on the driveway. I never said that. And I'm like, I've always parked outside my house. Well, she doesn't want you parking outside your here. And I'm like, everyone parks on the street. Like, even there's a house opposite, and they've got this long driveway that you could probably get 3 cars on, yet they'll put 1 or 2 on, and then people will park outside the house. And the other house next door, they used to have so many visitors that they would fill all this carpool up because there's room for 3 cars. They would double park themselves, then they would park outside across from my car. So I couldn't understand why Helen took a liberty to me parking outside my own house. I'm in no one's way. I've always parked there for 3 years. I've been on this street longer than half of this part of the street, and I've always parked there. Always, from day one, I've always parked there. And then Helen starts shouting at me, and she had a go at me, and she said something like she's sick of me, and I can't remember what she said. And I'm like, and can you stop giving me dirty looks? I'm sick of all your dirty looks. And she just started screaming at me, and to be honest, I can't remember what she was screaming at me, because you don't expect someone to come out and scream at you. I had raised my voice so they could hear me because I'm like there and they're over there. But then when the first one come out and started screaming at me, I'm like... And she's like, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, it's all the fucking time. And I'm like, oh, you think I'm not fucked off with this? And she went, don't swear, there's children here. And I'm thinking, you just swore yourself. And I'm like, if I want to swear, I'll swear. Like, I don't go around swearing in front of children, but I'm not, like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to not swear because I've been told by someone who's probably younger than me not to swear. And to be honest, she shouldn't have let him come to the door when she's kicking off and her friend's kicking off. Why would you let your son come to the door? He's obviously got behavioural problems from the way he acts anyway. So, and also, it's like after 7 o'clock at night and he's about 5. Like, why is he not in bed? That's what I don't understand. But I don't think she's a very good mum anyway. There's been often times when she's at the front door shut, smoking on the phone, and her baby's going crazy inside. And I remember one day I was clearing my car out, and it was when I was getting it ready for the MOT, you know, when I had loads of crap in it, and I was out there a good hour. She was out there a good hour, and that baby was going mental inside. And I remember she was on the phone, and she was like, I'm not going in there, I'm sick of her crying. All she does is cry, cry, cry. I'm going to go off to the shop. And she literally walked off, and I'm there thinking, is there someone in the house with that baby, or has she just left it? And the baby's going mental inside, and it's crying, and I didn't know what to do. And I was about to ring the police, 101 for advice, because I didn't know. And she come walking around the corner, she's on the phone, she's like, I'm going back, she won't be on her own in a minute. And I'm thinking, she's left that baby on her own. And she was gone about 15 minutes. And if I would have known straight away that baby was on her own, I would have rung the police, because you can't leave a baby. But there's been a few times, like last year, like summertime and stuff, before summer holidays and after summer holidays, when she's obviously been at home with the baby alone, and it's been crying and crying and crying and crying, and she's been outside, and I've heard her on the phone going, oh, she'll settle, I'm not putting up with it, she's been up all night, I can't sleep, I need this, I need that. And I'm like, don't know why she's got a baby if she can't handle it. Like, she should ask for help if she can't look after a baby. But, and then this, like, he finally appeared next door, and he said something to her, and she was still shouting at me, and I'm like, I'm going to phone the police if you can. You phone the police, I'm going to phone them. She phoned them the other month about the house across the road, and she made out it was a lot worse than it was, and they come flying round. I think I mentioned it in a video a few months ago, and there was loads of police on the street at 1:30 in the morning or whatever it was, and it was her next door. I heard her telling someone on the phone, because she's always on the phone outside, that she had to phone the police. So he stopped her from carrying on and dragged her in, and then the woman in the car pulled up next to me. She started screaming, you're a psycho, you fucking drive, you park on your own drive. And I held my phone up, like I was filming, because I wasn't, because I was texting my dad, I think. And then she stopped, because I think she thought, she's filming me, I'm not gonna. But this has been going on for a long time, this, the dirty looks and comments and stuff, because I did shout, and I'm sick of the dirty looks, there's no need for it. She's got the worst attitude ever, because she's never actually spoken to me. She's never spoken to my dad. Her son is loud, like, oh my God. I think he's got learning difficulties, which is not his fault, but there's been times when I've been in the house and it sounds like there's like 5 or 6 children out there, because there's the screaming and stuff going on, and it's him. And he's only about 4 or 5, but the noise that comes from him, I've been convinced there's been loads of children out there, and it's him. There's just no need for it. And then, I was getting out my car, and you could see her stood in her hallway looking through the kitchen door, because I can do the same from mine. And that's why I filmed like going, oh, Helen had a go at me, or whatever I said. I just don't need it. And yeah, we've got a drive that holds 1 car. There's 2 cars here. And I should be able to park outside my own house like I have done for 3 years. But obviously she's got a problem with me parking outside my own bloody house. So, ring the police. Because I really want the police at my house. I don't need the stress. And of course, 3 against 1. Brilliant. And that's wrong, because obviously they're going to lie. But I was actually quite calm considering what's been going on here for months. And also, last year they got carpets fitted, and I come home one day and I couldn't even park on the street because he had moved their cars and he'd put his car not only just outside my house, but he'd put it right up against the path. So when I came home, I had to walk in the road all the way around over the grass, which was muddy, to get on my path. If you're getting carpets, maybe you should park your cars out the way. There's loads of room down the side of the house on the main part of the road. Why can't you park there? And I couldn't move my car till like 10 o'clock at night. Even though the carpet man had gone, they didn't bother to move the cars. Hi. And I heard her back. Was you trying to protect me? Because you heard them, didn't you? Oh, you're like, what's going on out there? Because I'm not going to put up with it.